They called Jiang Nan's rare space talent completely worthless. Then one system potion turned him into a monster. Wang Lin had kicked his stall apart and mocked his poverty. Li Mayan promised his trash talent would never reach bronze. The strongest street vendor system converted humiliation into spendable grievance points. Its first reward rebuilt Jiang Nan's body with overwhelming strength. Wang Lin attacked again, certain the black iron loser would break. Jiang Nan caught his fist and forced the bronze fighter down. The same crowd that mocked him watched Jiang Nan beat Wang Lin down with a folding stool. By sunrise, the city's most famous trash talent had already become stronger than anyone expected. Jiang Nan was 18, orphaned, nearly broke, and surviving by selling cheap goods at a night market. His stall carried socks, underwear, hairpins, and anything else that might keep rent paid another week. Every sale mattered because no family waited at home with money, connections, or expensive spirit resources. 3 years earlier, Jiang Nan had awakened the extremely rare ability to control space. A legendary master even visited the school after hearing that a new space user had appeared. That excitement vanished when the talent test ranked Jiang Nan at the absolute bottom. His ability remained weak, his cultivation barely moved, and the master abandoned him without hesitation. Since then, classmates treated the former genius like a joke whose future had already ended. The next monthly examination would decide whether Jiang Nan remained in the elite awakener program. Failure meant losing the school's free spirit beads and every realistic chance of improving. That night, desperation pushed him to shout ridiculous sales pitches until his throat burned. Instead of customers, Li Mayan arrived with her muscular college boyfriend, Wang Lin. She openly described Jiang Nan as a failed space user destined to remain black iron forever. Wang Lin laughed, then deliberately stepped on the merchandise Jiang Nan had arranged for hours. Jiang Nan swallowed his anger and offered the couple a chance to pay for the damaged goods. Li Mayan responded by kicking more products away and daring the poor vendor to complain. That humiliation triggered a cold mechanical voice inside Jiang Nan's mind for the first time. The strongest street vendor system announced that emotional grievance could be converted into usable points. Every angry, embarrassed, frustrated, or distressed reaction around him could now become system currency. The more strongly people reacted to Jiang Nan, the faster his balance would grow. His first points came from Li Mayan and Wang Lin, making their cruelty immediately profitable. A protected stall zone also activated, giving Jiang Nan absolute safety while conducting system-approved business. Inside that small area, hostile attacks could not truly threaten his life. Jiang Nan opened the system lottery and spent his fresh grievance points on a desperate draw. Most rewards looked useless, including random bottles, strange food, and items with suspicious descriptions. One prize stood apart, a great strength potion promising an immediate physical transformation. Jiang Nan drank it before Wang Lin's next punch could finish what the humiliation started. The liquid chilled his scalp, burned through his veins, and forced every muscle to tighten. His hair vanished completely, but the power spreading through his body was impossible to deny. Wang Lin mocked the sudden baldness and charged, expecting another effortless victory. Jiang Nan answered by catching the bronze fighter's fist and refusing to move a single step. The difference was so overwhelming that Wang Lin's confidence collapsed before the crowd understood what happened. Jiang Nan tightened his grip until the older student begged him to release his hand. Then the street vendor grabbed his folding stool and returned every insult with brutal precision. Bystanders initially assumed Wang Lin was defending a customer from some dishonest merchant. Witnesses quickly explained that Wang Lin had destroyed the stall and insulted every working vendor nearby. Public sympathy shifted, and each fresh reaction poured more grievance points into Jiang Nan's account. Li Mayan threatened to call the police, but even she could not defend Wang Lin's behavior. Jiang Nan finally stopped beating him and calmly calculated the value of every ruined item. He charged Wang Lin an outrageous price for the entire inventory scattered across the ground. The defeated Bronze Awakener paid because refusing would only bring the folding stool down again. Jiang Nan pocketed 2,000 yuan and called the violent transaction his best sale ever. Li Mayan helped her boyfriend away while promising Jiang Nan would fail tomorrow's examination. He waved them goodbye, thanked them for supporting local business, and collected another surge of grievance. Once the crowd dispersed, Jiang Nan packed the remaining merchandise into his tiny spatial storage. His rare ability could currently hold only a few cubic meters, but that still saved enormous effort. He rode home on an old bicycle while considering what the system had truly changed. Physical strength solved tonight's problem, yet his original talent remained painfully weak. Without better cultivation, Jiang Nan would still lose his school resources after the monthly examination. The system lottery contained another major reward called a spirit-cleansing fruit. Its description claimed it could wash impurities away and improve an awakener's natural potential. Jiang Nan distrusted system products after losing every strand of hair, but he had no alternative. He swallowed the fruit and waited nervously for another ridiculous side effect. At first, nothing happened beyond a sharp sweetness and a strange warmth beneath his skin. Then spiritual energy rushed toward him with a force his body had never experienced. The channels that once absorbed energy painfully slowly suddenly opened like broken floodgates. Jiang Nan's cultivation climbed from black iron 3 stars to black iron 7 stars. Years of stagnant progress disappeared within minutes, proving his trash talent had genuinely improved. He checked his body for missing organs, strange colors, or any new system-created disaster. Nothing seemed wrong, although his smooth scalp still reminded him that every reward carried risk. A knock interrupted the inspection, and Zhao Yuqing entered with a steaming bowl of noodles. She was the landlord's daughter, a gentle student who often worried whether Jiang Nan had eaten. Yuqing stared at his bald head and struggled to understand how one evening caused such damage. Jiang Nan invented a terrible explanation involving heat, stress, and personal fashion choices. Her concern softened the joke because she had quietly cared for him through many difficult months. Jiang Nan accepted the noodles and promised himself he would eventually repay that kindness. After she left, he studied the system store and discovered unlocked rewards could be purchased directly. Great strength potions were cheap compared with lottery draws, making future access dangerously easy. The cleansing fruit remained far more valuable because each one could permanently raise his talent. Jiang Nan spent carefully, saving enough points for emergencies while buying another fruit. The second fruit pushed his cultivation even higher and made spiritual energy feel natural at last. Tomorrow's test no longer looked like an execution date disguised as a school examination. For the first time in 3 years, Jiang Nan expected the testing machine to fear him. Before sleeping, he checked the class group chat and found a blurry street fight video spreading rapidly. The clip showed a bald vendor in a cartoon shirt hammering Wang Lin with a folding stool. Classmates joked that the mysterious fighter looked slightly like Jiang Nan, then rejected the possibility. Their version of Jiang Nan was too weak to defeat any bronze awakener. Li Mayan stayed silent while other students repeatedly asked whether her boyfriend survived the beating. Each message embarrassed her further and delivered another stream of grievance points. Jiang Nan smiled at the screen, realizing ridicule had become the fuel for his comeback. He set his phone aside and prepared a baseball cap to hide the system's cosmetic price. Morning arrived with the same poor apartment, old bicycle, and uncertain future outside his window. Yet the person riding towards school was no longer the helpless boy everyone remembered. Jiang Nan carried improved talent, impossible strength, teleportation, and a system that rewarded every enemy's anger. The monthly examination would not decide whether he deserved to stay anymore. It would reveal how badly the entire school had underestimated him. The classroom had spent years watching Jiang Nan decline, so nobody expected a real reversal. That certainty made every smirk, wager, and whispered insult valuable before the test even began. Jiang Nan entered quietly, placed the folding stool beside his desk, and ignored the sudden silence. Behind the calm expression, he was waiting for the exact moment their laughter would collapse. Liang, the class monitor, approached first and performed sympathy loudly enough for everyone to hear. He offered Jiang Nan a delivery job at his father's logistics company after the expected expulsion. The class laughed because using a rare space awakener as a human warehouse sounded perfectly humiliating. Jiang Nan thanked Liang and asked whether the company also needed someone to carry its owner's ego. Laughter shifted directions, and Liang's generous expression hardened into immediate resentment. Li Mayan entered moments later, still furious about the viral video involving her injured boyfriend. She accused Jiang Nan of hiding beneath a cap because shame had finally destroyed his confidence. He calmly asked whether Wang Lin's face still hurt whenever she looked at it. The room fell silent as everyone connected her reaction with the blurry night market recording. Li Mayan denied everything too aggressively and supplied Jiang Nan with another rich burst of grievance points. The teacher arrived before Liang could start a fight and announced the monthly physical assessment. Students moved toward the gymnasium, where a titanium testing machine measured raw attack force. The examination mattered because anyone below Black Iron 5 stars would leave the elite class. Jiang Nan had officially been Black Iron 3 stars for years, making his failure seem guaranteed. One student after another struck the target and watched bright numbers appear above the machine. Average students earned cautious applause, while stronger awakeners attracted louder reactions. Liang performed well and made sure to glance toward Jiang Nan after receiving his result. Li Mayan used a sharp elemental attack and forced her name into the class's top rankings. She passed Jiang Nan with a cold smile and reminded him to pack his belongings. When Jiang Nan's name was called, several classmates began recording his final humiliation. He adjusted the cap, walked forward, and studied the machine Wang Lin could never have damaged. The proctor confirmed that one clean attack would determine his physical score. Jiang Nan planted his feet and allowed the strength potion's power to gather through his frame. His muscles tightened beneath ordinary clothes, but the movement remained controlled and almost casual. Then he twisted his hips and drove one straight punch into the titanium target. The impact cracked through the gym like thunder trapped inside a steel room. Metal folded around his fist, anchoring bolts snapped, and the entire machine left the floor. It crashed across the gymnasium, smoking against the far wall beneath a cloud of dust. Nobody cheered because nobody immediately understood what their eyes had shown them. The proctor stared at the ruined equipment before checking Jiang Nan's student record again. A space awakener with bottom-ranked talent had just produced strength beyond the machine's measurement range. The principal demanded an explanation while Li Mayan looked ready to faint. Jiang Nan claimed Wang Lin's beating had triggered a rare second awakening during the night. The story sounded ridiculous until students found the viral video and displayed it to the teachers. Suddenly, the broken machine looked like proof that trauma had awakened a strength attribute. Dual awakeners were exceptionally rare, and the principal's suspicion turned into excitement. The school promised Jiang Nan additional spirit beads each month as long as he remained enrolled. That reward alone transformed the test from survival into a major victory. Jiang Nan walked past Li Mayan and politely thanked Wang Lin for hitting him. He suggested other students might also request punches if they wanted second awakenings. Several classmates actually began discussing the idea, deepening Li Mayan's public embarrassment. Her anger fed the system until Jiang Nan nearly felt grateful for their history. The assessment could not continue because no replacement machine was available. Students who had not tested complained, producing another wave of points for the person responsible. Liang blocked Jiang Nan near the exit and insisted physical strength could not repair trash talent. He promised that real cultivation and spirit realm combat would eventually expose the difference. Jiang Nan raised one fist and asked whether Liang's skull was harder than titanium alloy. The class monitor immediately stepped aside, proving the answer without needing another demonstration. Outside the gym, rumors spread faster than Jiang Nan could follow them. Some students called him a hidden genius, while others believed the second awakening story completely. Teachers debated whether his strength could already match higher-ranked bronze awakeners. Jiang Nan kept his real system secret because attention was useful, but ownership would be dangerous. His improved talent, cleansing fruits, and grievance economy gave him advantages nobody could measure. The school saw a lucky dual awakener, which was exactly the misunderstanding he wanted. After class ended early, Jiang Nan returned to the night market and reopened his stall. Space storage allowed him to unload everything instantly without attracting unnecessary labor costs. Rows of cheap merchandise appeared, followed by 10 ordinary-looking plastic water bottles. Each bottle actually contained diluted great strength potion purchased from the system's store. Jiang Nan removed the labels and advertised the liquid as miraculous strength-enhancing mineral water. The price was absurd compared with normal drinks, attracting mockery before attracting customers. People gathered around because the viral bald vendor had already become local entertainment. Jiang Nan offered a demonstration and placed several construction bricks beside the bottles. He drank a small amount, lifted one brick, and smashed it against his forehead. The brick split while his head remained unharmed beneath the evening lights. More onlookers arrived, filming as Jiang Nan broke brick after brick with growing confidence. He insisted the water came from a secret natural source, rather than any manufactured product. Most people believed the performance was staged, but disbelief still created profitable reactions. A skeptical man challenged Jiang Nan to prove the bricks were real. Jiang Nan handed him one, watched him inspect it, then broke another across the man's shoulder. The customer screamed, the crowd exploded, and Jiang Nan apologized with suspicious sincerity. That demonstration convinced several thrill-seekers to purchase bottles despite the ridiculous price. The first buyer drank cautiously and felt energy surge through his exhausted body. His posture straightened, fatigue disappeared, and he immediately demanded more. Jiang Nan limited sales because scarcity increased desire and protected his secret supply. Every argument over the remaining bottles generated additional grievance points. The stall became part business, part stage show, and part system-powered trap for human emotion. Jiang Nan realized the system did not merely reward strength. It rewarded attention controlled intelligently. His poorest years had taught him how to sell, bargain, provoke, and read desperate customers. Those survival skills now converted directly into cultivation resources. A second viral video began spreading before the night had even reached its busiest hour. This one showed Jiang Nan destroying bricks with his head beside bottles of mysterious water. Viewers online debated whether he was a fraud, a martial artist, or a laboratory experiment. Jiang Nan collected grievance from the comments without needing to answer any of them. Then the crowd separated as two striking young women pushed toward his stall. One had silver hair, blue eyes, and the sharp movements of a trained beast-type awakener. The other carried herself quietly, with black hair and a face Jiang Nan recognized immediately. Xiao Yao spotted the bald vendor first and charged before Jiang Nan could teleport. She trapped him in a headlock and accused him of selling defective clothing months earlier. Cheap black dye had stained her skin for days, creating a memory she still hated. Jiang Nan argued that every product had performed exactly as cheaply as its price suggested. Xiao Yao tightened her arm until his defense collapsed and repayment became unavoidable. The crowd assumed another romantic scandal had arrived and began recording with renewed enthusiasm. Jiang Nan tried to escape through space, but Xiao Yao anticipated the movement and held tighter. Then Zhang Yingshui stepped closer, and the noise around Jiang Nan seemed to disappear. She had grown up beside him in the same orphanage before an elite family adopted her. Years had passed since separation placed them on opposite sides of society. Jiang Nan remembered protecting Yingshui from bullies, sharing food, and promising they would never abandon each other. Yingshui recognized him beneath the cap and bald head without needing any explanation. Her smile carried relief, guilt, and the warmth of a home neither of them still possessed. For Jiang Nan, defeating Wanglin had been satisfying, but seeing Yingshu again mattered far more. Xiao Yao finally released Jiang Nan after Yingshui quietly asked her to stop crushing him. He rubbed his neck, returned the refund, and pretended the reunion had not shaken him. Yingshu noticed his poor clothes, battered bicycle, and improvised stall without showing pity. That restraint mattered because Jiang Nan wanted recognition, not sympathy from the girl he remembered. The three left the market for a nearby barbecue restaurant where conversation could happen privately. Jiang Nan ordered Yingshui's food without asking, remembering every preference from their childhood. She smiled when he requested no spice, while Xiao Yao loudly complained about being ignored. Their teasing restored an old rhythm that years of separation had never completely erased. Xiao Yao revealed that both girls attended the city's strongest awakener high school. Yingshu possessed an elite fire talent and had already reached bronze 9 stars. Xiao Yao's beast transformation placed her at bronze 7 stars with exceptional speed and senses. Compared with them, Jiang Nan's cultivation remained low despite his sudden physical strength. Xiao Yao suggested he join their spirit realm team because space control could transform every battle. Yingshu rejected the idea immediately, not from contempt, but because another teammate made the situation dangerous. The name Luo Tianshang changed Xiao Yao's mood from playful to openly furious. She accused the wealthy lightning awakener of using family influence to control Yingshui's choices. Yingshui stopped the explanation and insisted she would solve her own problem. Jiang Nan did not pressure her, yet he memorized the tension behind every unfinished sentence. Protecting Yingshui had once been natural, and that instinct returned before he consciously accepted it. He changed the subject, exchanged contact information, and promised the reunion would not end tonight. After dinner, the girls left while Jiang Nan returned toward his rented neighborhood. The narrow street smelled of smoke and grilled meat from Uncle Zhao's barbecue stand. Zhao Yuqing worked beside her father, serving customers after finishing school. A group of tattooed men occupied the largest table and treated everyone around them with contempt. Their leader shouted for beer, insulted Uncle Zhao, and demanded service immediately. Yuqing carried the drinks over despite the fear visible in her hands. The leader grabbed her wrist and offered money if she stayed to entertain his table. She tried pulling away, but his grip tightened until her skin turned red. Uncle Zhao begged them to release his daughter and offered the entire meal for free. The thugs interpreted fear as permission and surrounded the old man instead. Jiang Nan stepped from the darkness before Yuqing's tears could fall. He asked the leader to remove his hand and pay for the damaged tableware. Several gang members laughed because the newcomer wore cheap clothes and carried a folding stool. The leader recognized Jiang Nan as the viral bald vendor and mocked his online fame. Jiang Nan placed his merchandise nearby, activating the system's invincible stall protection. He calmly repeated the request while grievance points began appearing from every offended thug. The leader released Yuqing only to swing a heavy bottle at Jiang Nan's head. Glass shattered against the protected vendor without leaving even a shallow cut. Jiang Nan smiled, grabbed the attacker's wrist, and drove him through a wooden table. The remaining men rushed together, believing numbers would overcome one poor student. Space opened beside Jiang Nan, and bricks launched from storage at impossible angles. One struck a knee, another broke a weapon, and a third stopped inches from someone's face. The attackers hesitated because they could not understand where the projectiles came from. Jiang Nan teleported behind them, using his strengthened body before they could adjust. A folding stool crashed across shoulders, wrists, and backs with humiliating accuracy. Nobody died, but everyone learned exactly how helpless bronze confidence looked against spatial control. The leader tried escaping, only to appear back beside the stall whenever Jiang Nan blinked. Each failed retreat deepened his panic and increased the system balance. Yuqing watched from behind her father as the quiet tenant dismantled the entire group. The same boy she had fed noodles now stood between her family and armed criminals. Jiang Nan stopped when the leader finally apologized to Yuqing and Uncle Zhao directly. He demanded payment for the destroyed furniture, unpaid food, and emotional damages. The thugs transferred the money immediately because another round felt worse than financial pain. Jiang Nan warned them never to touch anyone working on that street again. They left carrying injured friends while promising obedience with surprising sincerity. Uncle Zhao tried returning the compensation, but Jiang Nan refused to take money meant for repairs. Yuqing thanked him softly and admitted she had never expected an awakener to defend ordinary vendors. Jiang Nan answered that people who worked honestly deserved protection regardless of rank. That statement surprised even him because the system had begun as a way to survive. Power now allowed him to protect the small community that had protected him first. The rescue spread through the neighborhood before Jiang Nan reached his room. Residents who once worried about his future started calling him Brother Nan with genuine respect. Their reactions produced fewer grievance points, but the emotional reward felt more permanent. Inside the apartment, Jiang Nan reviewed the enormous balance created by one chaotic day. He purchased several lottery draws, hoping for more cleansing fruit or combat upgrades. The system delivered random bottles, suspicious food, strength potions, and a new consolation prize. Small yellow beans appeared with a claim that they could neutralize any poison. Their description promised a chicken-like crunch, which only made Jiang Nan trust them less. He checked the store and discovered every unlocked item could now be purchased cheaply. Direct buying meant the lottery was mostly a trap designed to drain emotional currency. Jiang Nan complained aloud, but the system answered with complete indifference. He ate another cleansing fruit instead and felt his spiritual absorption improve again. Cultivation rose to black iron 8 stars, leaving the former bottleneck far behind. The speed of progress would be impossible to explain if school officials tested him too carefully. Jiang Nan decided his public identity would remain a strange dual awakener with fortunate breakthroughs. The system, grievance points, and permanent talent growth would stay hidden from everyone. He studied the yellow beans again and resisted tasting them himself. The baldness incident had taught him that system products often included cruel side effects. Still, poison resistance could save lives inside spirit realms where ordinary medicine failed. Jiang Nan placed the beans in storage and planned to test them on a safer opportunity. His phone buzzed with messages about the brick-breaking video reaching 1 million views. Customers were already asking when the miracle water stall would reopen. Some praised Jiang Nan, others called him a scammer, and both groups generated useful attention. Jiang Nan realized his night market business could finance cultivation faster than any legal job. Strength potions cost little in points but could sell for extraordinary cash. Cleansing fruits could not be exposed because permanent talent improvement would attract dangerous organizations. He would sell temporary advantages while keeping the true foundation for himself. The next morning, Jiang Nan brought a bag of yellow beans into class. Their harmless appearance made them perfect for a small experiment. He placed the bag on his desk and waited for curiosity to overcome caution. Liang noticed first, demanded an explanation, and accused Jiang Nan of showing off another systemless trick. Jiang Nan claimed the beans were rare detoxifying medicine worth more than ordinary students could imagine. Li Mian immediately called the claim fraudulent and warned everyone not to touch them. That resistance made the class more curious, exactly as Jiang Nan expected. One student grabbed several beans and ate them simply to prove nothing would happen. The taste was unexpectedly pleasant, and he encouraged others to try more. Within minutes, half the class had emptied handfuls from Jiang Nan's bag. He acted worried, begged them to stop wasting expensive medicine, and secretly counted reactions. The teacher entered as students praised the crunchy flavor and demanded another supply. Jiang Nan surrendered the remaining beans with theatrical reluctance after someone complained of stomach pain. He announced that anyone feeling strange should take one immediately because they neutralize toxins. The teacher thanked him for protecting classmates and distributed the beans across the school. Jiang Nan briefly wondered why the system's side effect had not appeared. Then the first victim clutched his stomach, stood abruptly, and ran for the restroom. A second student followed, then 3 more, and the classroom transformed into immediate panic. The beans truly neutralized poison, but apparently they also purged everything else inside the body. Hallways filled with students sprinting toward restrooms while teachers tried restoring order. Every occupied stall attracted a desperate line that became angrier by the second. Jiang Nan watched grievance points rise faster than any fight had produced. He maintained an innocent expression and reminded everyone that detoxification could feel uncomfortable. Li Mian accused him of causing the disaster, but she had eaten several beans herself. Her anger disappeared when another stomach cramp forced her toward the crowded restroom. Liang tried preserving his dignity until sweat covered his forehead and his legs began shaking. Jiang Nan offered sympathy, which somehow made the class monitor even more furious. The school plumbing failed under pressure, and water began spreading through several corridors. Administrators canceled classes after realizing education could not continue through a sanitation emergency. Students went home to change clothes, shower, and plan revenge against the generous medicine supplier. Jiang Nan remained strangely healthy because he had wisely refused to eat his own product. He packed his books and escaped before anyone recovered enough strength to surround him. The system balance had grown beyond anything he expected from a bag of beans. At the night market, Jiang Nan discovered the viral videos had turned his stall into a destination. Customers crowded the area before he arrived, arguing over places in an unofficial line. Some wanted miracle water, while others wanted selfies with the bald brick-breaking vendor. Jiang Nan opened spatial storage and produced bottles as if retrieving them from empty air. The display alone fascinated people who had never seen a space awakener work nearby. He limited each buyer to 1 bottle and raised the price without apologizing. Demand increased because scarcity made the product feel more valuable than honest advertising could. A gym owner purchased several bottles after hearing they removed exhaustion almost instantly. A construction worker drank one and lifted equipment that usually required 2 men. An elderly customer claimed his back felt younger, although Jiang Nan suspected excitement helped. Every visible result attracted more buyers and strengthened the legend surrounding the stall. Jiang Nan continued calling himself nature's delivery boy rather than explaining the potion. A wealthy businessman offered to purchase the imaginary spring producing the water. Jiang Nan declined and suggested some treasures could not be measured in money. The answer sounded profound, but he simply had no spring to sell. Then, luxury vehicles stopped beside the market, silencing the ordinary crowd. 10 awakened bodyguards stepped out before a sharply dressed young heir approached. The newcomer was Luo Tianqing, the lightning awakener Xiao Yao had mentioned during dinner. He carried family authority like a weapon and expected everyone nearby to lower their eyes. Luo pointed at Jiang Nan and accused him of interfering with matters beyond his status. Jiang Nan understood immediately that this confrontation concerned Zhang Yingshu. He remained inside the stall zone and invited Luo to purchase something or leave. Luo ordered the bodyguards to destroy the merchandise and drag Jiang Nan away. The first attacker crossed the invisible boundary and discovered his strength suddenly meant nothing. Jiang Nan caught him, spun once, and dropped the larger man across the pavement. More bodyguards charged together, filling the system with grievance as each attack failed. Inside the protected area, Jiang Nan moved like an unbeatable shopkeeper defending sacred property. He teleported bottles away from swinging feet and returned bricks toward exposed knees. Several bronze awakeners collapsed without damaging a single pair of socks. Luo finally entered personally, surrounding his fist with violent lightning. The strike should have destroyed Jiang Nan's body and half the stall behind him. Instead, the protected vendor remained standing while electricity scattered harmlessly across the boundary. Jiang Nan asked whether Luo wanted a receipt for the failed attack. The market crowd laughed, and humiliation cut deeper than any physical counterattack. Luo attempted another assault, but Jiang Nan redirected him into a wine cabinet at a nearby restaurant. The wealthy heir emerged with a swollen head, ruined clothes, and hatred burning through every word. Jiang Nan warned him that money and family influence did not create ownership over Yingxiu. Luo denied the accusation while promising Jiang Nan's apartment building would soon disappear. That threat revealed a redevelopment scheme targeting the poor neighborhood where Jiang Nan lived. Luo intended to buy the property, remove the residents, and punish Jiang Nan indirectly. Jiang Nan answered that barking threats usually came from dogs afraid to bite. The confrontation ended only because Luo's bodyguards carried their injured master away. Publicly, Jiang Nan had won, but the property threat could hurt many innocent families. Later, Xiao Yao messaged him with the complete history she had hidden at dinner. Luo had used family connections to enter Yingshui's team and isolate her from other students. His obsession grew until he treated every conversation she had as personal betrayal. During one dinner, Luo attempted to drug Yingshui's drink while pretending concern. Xiao Yao discovered the plan in time, preventing a crime that could have destroyed her friend. The team collapsed afterward, yet Luo's family continued pressuring Yingshui's adoptive relatives. Jiang Nan read every message twice, and his usual joking expression disappeared. Yingshu was the only person who had shared his childhood hunger without ever abandoning him. Anyone threatening her would receive more than a warning beside a market stall. Jiang Nan asked Xiao Yao to help with a plan, but refused to reveal every detail. She arrived the next morning driving an expensive sports car and looking dangerously excited. Together, they followed Luo's routine toward the luxury district where his family lived. Jiang Nan ordered breakfast through a delivery application, then paid the rider for his uniform. The confused worker surrendered the clothes and waited beside the car in his underwear. Jiang Nan disguised himself with the cap, layered masks, and a thermal delivery box. Even Xiao Yao admitted the transformation made him almost impossible to recognize. Inside the box sat buns, soy milk, and the system ingredients chosen for Luo. Jiang Nan poured great strength potion into the drink, guaranteeing energy and complete baldness. Then he crushed several detoxifying beans into the same bottle for a second effect. The mixture was not poison, but the consequences would be unforgettable. Security ignored a delivery worker arriving in a luxury car because confusion defeated suspicion. An old butler accepted the order and carried it to Luo's breakfast table. Luo had spent the night arranging the neighborhood acquisition and preparing Jiang Nan's eviction. Hunger overruled caution, so he consumed every bun and finished the altered soy milk. Strength returned to his exhausted body, and confidence erased the warning signs. His hair disappeared while he dressed, leaving the swollen injury on his scalp completely exposed. The butler assumed poor eyesight caused the impossible sight of a suddenly bald young master. Outside, Xiao Yao nearly collapsed laughing when sunlight reflected from Luo's polished head. Jiang Nan kept watching because the beans had not delivered their contribution yet. Luo entered his sports car and accelerated toward company headquarters. Halfway there, his stomach produced a violent warning that forced both hands onto the wheel. Morning traffic trapped him inside the vehicle while pressure increased with every minute. The potion gave him enormous strength, but no strength could negotiate with his digestive system. He rolled down every window after the enclosed air became impossible to survive. Xiao Yao saw the prediction happen exactly and finally understood Jiang Nan's confidence. They followed at a safe distance while Luo fought the most humiliating battle of his life. By the time Luo reached headquarters, dignity mattered less than finding the nearest restroom. Luo stepped from the car with rigid legs, pouring sweat while employees stared at his bare scalp. He misread their suppressed laughter as respectful attention and hurried toward the elevators. Jiang Nan entered separately carrying a folding ladder and wearing maintenance clothes. A security guard waved him through because nobody questions a worker who looks urgently employed. Luo reached an elevator and pressed the button for the highest executive floor. Before the doors closed, Jiang Nan inserted the ladder and stepped inside beside him. The disguised student calmly selected every floor between the lobby and Luo's office. Grievance points arrived instantly as Luo realized the ride would stop more than 30 times. Jiang Nan explained that building circuits required inspection on each level. Another passenger entered, leaving Luo unable to threaten the supposed maintenance worker openly. The elevator rose, and the slight downward pressure nearly broke Luo's remaining control. At every floor, Jiang Nan stepped out slowly and pretended to examine the lights. Luo gripped the rail, clenched his entire body, and silently begged the elevator to move faster. Then he noticed his reflection in the polished wall and discovered the missing hair. The enormous purple lump on his scalp made him look like a furious, sweating unicorn. Shock turned into recognition as Luo connected the breakfast delivery with Jiang Nan. He wanted to attack, but his current condition made any sudden movement impossible. Near the final floor, the building lights flickered and the elevator stopped between levels. Xiaoyao had cut power at the exact time Jiang Nan requested. Emergency staff estimated repairs would require at least half an hour. Luo stared at the ceiling as though every god in existence had personally betrayed him. The other passenger turned away when his desperate posture revealed what was about to happen. Jiang Nan produced a gas mask from spatial storage and secured it with practiced speed. He handed the horrified woman a spare filter before activating his phone camera. Luo finally lost control inside the trapped elevator, destroying the last piece of his public dignity. The sound, smell, and surveillance cameras turned a private disaster into corporate legend. Security officers watching the monitors called coworkers over before anyone remembered professional behavior. The building intercom requested that the gentleman inside the elevator preserve basic dignity. Employees gathered near lower floor doors while rumors raced through the darkened headquarters. Luo wrapped a torn shirt around his bald head and recognized Jiang Nan beneath the disguise. He promised murder, revenge, and ruin with a voice weakened by humiliation. Jiang Nan answered coldly that another move against Yingshu would release the recording citywide. He also demanded the immediate cancellation of the neighborhood acquisition targeting Uncle Zhao and other residents. Luo's money could damage buildings, but Jiang Nan now controlled something the heir valued more than money. Reputation became leverage strong enough to restrain a family that ordinary people could never challenge. Jiang Nan teleported from the elevator after confirming Luo understood every condition. When power returned, rescue workers opened the doors and encountered a scene nobody wanted explained. Luo locked himself in a private restroom for hours while the company pretended nothing happened. Before leaving, he canceled the redevelopment project and ordered employees to avoid Jiang Nan's neighborhood. The threat against hundreds of residents disappeared without anyone knowing why. A cleaning worker later found Luo's porcelain toilet shattered by strength-enhanced digestive force. She assumed the young heir possessed a terrifying hidden combat technique. Jiang Nan returned to Xiaoyao's car, where she demanded the complete story immediately. He played the recording, and she laughed until breathing became difficult. Even through the comedy, Xiaoyao understood the warning had protected Yingshui without exposing her. She requested a copy, promising to keep it secured unless Luo attacked again. During the drive home, she repeated her invitation for Jiang Nan to join their team. Spirit realm exploration required balanced groups because one mistake could kill even talented students. Yingshu provided overwhelming firepower. Xiaoyao specialized in speed and tracking, and space control would complete them. Jiang Nan wanted to join, but transferring through influence would make every elite student question him. Xiaoyao revealed another path based entirely on performance. His school awarded 3 exchange positions to the highest-ranking students in the final examination. Earning one would place Jiang Nan inside the elite academy without relying on anyone's family. The practical examination involved entering a spirit realm and hunting dangerous beasts. Jiang Nan had never entered one because his former cultivation remained below the minimum requirement. Now he had only 1 month to gain experience, form a team, and reach the top 3. Xiaoyao promised a special reward if he finished first, then smiled too closely for comfort. Jiang Nan told her to watch the road while pretending the offer caused no reaction. She suddenly sensed his cultivation and slammed the brakes in disbelief. Only days earlier, Jiang Nan had been black iron 7 stars after his first cleansing fruit. Continuous improvement had already pushed him to black iron 10 stars. 3 levels in several days contradicted everything normal awakening education taught. Xiao Yao suspected a hidden opportunity, but she respected his refusal to explain. Instead, she gave him 2 tightly controlled spirit beads worth more than his yearly income. The beads carried concentrated energy used by elite students to break cultivation barriers safely. Jiang Nan accepted them while promising the investment would return through first place. At home, he absorbed the beads and felt his foundation become denser rather than merely larger. Spatial energy gathered around his core, sharpening teleportation range and storage control. The system had improved his talent, but disciplined cultivation still determined how well he used it. Jiang Nan spent the following days balancing school, business, training, and grievance collection. His night market customers returned with stories of extraordinary strength after drinking the water. A college student named Jiang Wei claimed the potion transformed his spirit realm performance. He brought 2 friends, ordered 100 bottles, and treated Jiang Nan like a hidden master. Jiang Nan refused the full order because limited stock preserved both secrecy and demand. Before negotiations finished, a group of hired fighters arrived looking for the bald vendor. Their leader, Wu Yong, announced they had been paid to teach Jiang Nan respect. Jiang Nan asked them to wait because he was still serving paying customers. Wu Yong became offended that a planned beating received less attention than beverage sales. The emotional reaction amused customers and supplied Jiang Nan with another profitable stream. When Wu Yong attacked, Jiang Nan opened small spatial gates around the stall. Bricks disappeared from his hand and reappeared beside knees, ribs, and weapon grips. The attackers could not predict direction, distance, or timing. Jiang Nan called the technique flying brick control, although it was simply teleportation used creatively. Wu Yong possessed impressive physical resilience and continued charging after everyone else fell. Jiang Nan respected the determination, then dropped a wooden stool through a portal above his head. The leader crashed down, recovered, and demanded to know what school taught such combat. Jiang Wei and his friends watched with absolute fascination rather than fear. They begged Jiang Nan to accept them as disciples and teach the flying brick technique. Their excitement grew when they learned the supposed master was still a high school senior. Jiang Nan invented a ridiculous story about arriving from another star system to save Earth. The 3 college students walked away immediately, unable to decide whether he was powerful or insane. Wu Yong remained behind, nursing bruises and studying Jiang Nan with unexpected seriousness. Unlike Luo or Wang Lin, he had attacked for money without targeting innocent people. Jiang Nan offered him water, food, and a chance to earn honestly around the neighborhood. Wu Yong accepted cautiously, unaware that this strange encounter would soon create real loyalty. That evening, Jiang Nan realized his power was beginning to change enemies into useful allies. The encounter with Wu Yong did not end with a peaceful handshake or easy loyalty. He demanded a full fight outside the protected stall, determined to measure Jiang Nan's real strength. Jiang Nan accepted because relying forever on invincibility inside a sales zone would leave him unprepared. The alley provided enough space, darkness, and brickwork for a dangerous practical test. Wu Yong revealed bronze 3-star cultivation and charged with fists powerful enough to crack walls. Jiang Nan teleported aside, leaving the first punch buried deep inside old masonry. A red brick appeared from spatial storage and shattered across Wu Yong's face. The larger fighter recovered immediately, proving his defensive talent was far beyond Wang Lin's. Jiang Nan struck from behind, used Wu Yong's momentum, and threw him into a streetlight. A barrage of teleported bricks followed, arriving from angles no normal defense could track. Wu Yong roared and activated his beast transformation rather than accepting defeat. His body expanded into a 4-meter black bear covered in dense spiritual fur. Clothing tore apart, pressure flooded the alley, and every footstep cracked the pavement. Jiang Nan mocked the complete lack of battle clothing, earning anger before the next charge. The bear's paw tore through a wall where Jiang Nan had stood a heartbeat earlier. Near the fallen streetlight, Jiang Nan grabbed the long metal pole as an improvised weapon. The system recognized his intention and unlocked basic spear mastery using accumulated skill points. Combat knowledge entered his mind like years of disciplined training compressed into seconds. His grip changed, his stance lowered, and the ordinary pole suddenly moved with precise purpose. Jiang Nan struck Wu Yang's ribs hard enough to lift the enormous bear from the ground. The pole bent gradually, yet every thrust redirected claws, controlled distance, and punished openings. Wu Yang possessed superior endurance, but he could not touch an opponent who teleported between attacks. When the metal finally folded, Jiang Nan returned to the weapon he trusted most. Brick after brick broke across the transformed fighter's head until consciousness disappeared. Wu Yang's frightened companions knocked themselves unconscious rather than face the same punishment. Jiang Nan left one system-produced garment on the defeated bear before returning home. Hulk brand boxers expanded with transformations and remained indestructible during combat. The ridiculous yellow design featured a giant cartoon creature, but functionality mattered more than dignity. Wu Yang awoke surrounded by curious neighbors and discovered the miraculous underwear covering him. Instead of feeling mocked, he interpreted the gift as mercy from a superior warrior. The boxers survived his shrinking body perfectly, confirming Jiang Nan possessed treasures beyond explanation. By morning, Wu Yang's public walk home had become another viral social media event. Classmates shared photographs while laughing at the giant fighter's confident cartoon waistband. Then Wu Yang entered Jiang Nan's classroom, bruised, swollen, and terrifyingly serious. Everyone expected revenge until he bowed and asked Jiang Nan to become his boss. The request destroyed Liang's excitement and silenced every student who predicted Jiang Nan's beating. Wu Yang admitted the barbecue thugs had acted wrongly and promised the neighborhood would remain protected. Jiang Nan questioned his character, but recognized courage, honesty, and unusual loyalty beneath the violence. He offered Wu Yang a position as the defensive core of his examination team. The bear awakener accepted instantly and promised no attack would reach Jiang Nan while he remained standing. Liang insulted the partnership, calling Jiang Nan dead weight inside a real spirit realm. Wu Yang transformed partially, lifted Liang by the collar, and threatened him for disrespecting his new leader. Jiang Nan kicked Wu Yang backward and ordered him to stop destroying school uniforms. That casual discipline shocked the class more than another fight could have done. A quiet wood element student named Tang Xinya appeared seeking teammates after her old group abandoned her. She had black iron 9-star cultivation and support abilities valuable for wilderness survival. Wu Yang asked Jiang Nan for permission before inviting her, making the new hierarchy obvious. Jiang Nan accepted Tang Xinya after confirming she understood the risks of joining an inexperienced group. Their 3-person team lacked a 4th member, yet each role now served a clear purpose. Wu Yang could absorb damage, Tang Xinya could control plants, and Jiang Nan could reposition everyone. The school required teams because spirit beasts rarely fought according to classroom rules. Their final score would combine academic results, collected materials, and defeated beast value. High-ranking students could win exchange positions and access to elite academy resources. Liang formed a rival seed team with Li Mayan, Lu Chuanwu, and another experienced attacker. Their combination of elemental damage, speed, and beast defense looked stronger on paper. The rival group planned to humiliate Jiang Nan inside the Tianxi spirit realm where teachers could not watch every second. Jiang Nan welcomed the hostility because predictable enemies were easier than hidden ones. During lunch, Wu Yang purchased food and loudly called Jiang Nan his elder brother. The cafeteria fell silent as rumors about their alley fight finally became believable. Jiang Nan asked whether Wu Yang could also rank within the academic top 3. The bear awakener admitted his grades were terrible enough to threaten the entire plan. Tang Xinya offered tutoring, while Wu Yang approached textbooks with the intensity of Mortal Kombat. He promised to study honestly before considering his backup plan of frightening better students away. Jiang Nan rejected the backup plan and assigned daily targets for every subject. Leadership now required more than winning fights. It meant dragging allies toward a shared future. In class, teachers explained that spirit realms were fragments of dangerous environments connected through unstable gates. Awakeners entered them to gather resources, defeat beasts, and search for spirit traces. Black Iron Awakeners could absorb only one trace, making the first choice extremely important. Space-type beasts were exceptionally rare and tightly controlled by official associations. Jiang Nan's teleportation was innate, meaning he still possessed an empty trace slot. Finding a compatible space ability during the examination could transform his combat options permanently. The top 10 trial teams would also receive valuable spirit beads and cultivation supplies. Jiang Nan saw several paths forward. but first place remained the objective tied to Yingshu. Liang mocked him for never entering a spirit realm or killing even one beast. Jiang Nan replied that experience mattered only until someone adapted faster than the experienced fighters. The class submitted team names before the final preparation period began. Most students chose dramatic titles involving victory, stars, legends, or national pride. Jiang Nan registered his group as Team Jiang Nan is always right. Tang Xinya covered her face when the announcement echoed through every classroom. Wu Yang celebrated the name as proof their leader possessed unmatched confidence. Rival students laughed, giving Jiang Nan exactly the reaction he expected. Lu Chuanwu called the team one genius fighter dragging two useless burdens. Jiang Nan stood, opened storage, and placed a brick beside his wooden stool. He invited Lu Chuanwu to repeat the statement while standing within throwing distance. The rival tank chose silence, after remembering what spatially delivered bricks could accomplish. A teacher entered and asked why construction material had appeared on Jiang Nan's desk. He claimed the brick was being used as a ruler for drawing straight lines. The explanation created another burst of grievance while preventing disciplinary action. Outside school, Wu Yang arranged for his former street followers to help Uncle Zhao's barbecue business. The men worked as servers, guards, and cleaners because disappointing Brother Nan felt dangerous. Jiang Nan accepted the improvement but warned the new workers against intimidating ordinary guests. His influence was spreading beyond one stall, turning reckless people toward useful responsibility. At home, Jiang Nan used accumulated grievance points for another series of system draws. Several rewards were disappointing bundles of spiritual leaks with unusual strengthening effects. A grand prize finally produced 2 peerless beauty pills and more adaptive combat clothing. The pills seemed useless beside cultivation resources, but Jiang Nan tested one cautiously. 30 minutes later, every facial feature looked refined without becoming unfamiliar. His skin cleared, his eyes sharpened, and even his short hair suited him perfectly. The system had transformed a poor street vendor into someone who looked like a top celebrity. Jiang Nan complained that beauty would not defeat spirit beasts, then noticed attention-generating points automatically. A handsome face created curiosity, envy, attraction, and resentment without requiring any deliberate provocation. For a system powered by emotion, appearance became another efficient weapon. He stored the second pill for someone important rather than wasting both on himself. The remaining weeks before the trial would test whether his growing team deserved the confidence its name declared. Jiang Nan's improved appearance became obvious the moment he walked through the school gate. Students who had ignored him for years stopped talking and followed him with confused eyes. Several girls assumed he was a transfer student until the familiar folding stool appeared beside his desk. Li Mayan recognized him last and reacted with particular anger at the unfair transformation. Jiang Nan claimed consistent face washing produced the result, which offended everyone who possessed basic intelligence. The grievance notifications proved his explanation worked exactly as intended. During breaks, he searched classmates' social posts for easy opportunities to provoke reactions safely. Liang uploaded a motivational message about working harder than talented rivals. Jiang Nan replied that effort seemed pointless when better people were already farther ahead. Liang deleted the comment after producing a valuable burst of frustration. Li Mayan celebrated a cultivation breakthrough and compared her exhaustion with a hard-working dog. Jiang Nan observed that most dogs slept, ate freely, and looked less tired than she did. Another classmate asked whether morning nausea came from smoking too much. Jiang Nan suggested avoiding mirrors while brushing teeth, making the insult obvious only after rereading. The class stopped posting publicly once everyone realized he was harvesting emotional reactions. Jiang Nan created his own midnight message, claiming nobody remembered his birthday. Guilty classmates immediately sent sincere congratulations despite their recent anger. Zhang Yingxue calmly revealed that his birthday occurred on a completely different date. Hidden text beneath the post admitted the same truth after everyone had already responded. The class erupted, and the system balance rose while Jiang Nan laughed alone in his apartment. Yingxue, remembering his real birthday, affected him more deeply than the successful prank. Their childhood connection remained intact despite years, status, and distance. The next school day, Wu Yang arrived early with bruises fading and textbooks stacked high. His decision to study had shocked his own father, who expected him to inherit street influence instead. Tang Xinya organized a practical schedule combining mathematics, language, history, and spirit beast theory. Wu Yang treated every problem like an opponent that could eventually be defeated through endurance. Jiang Nan focused on combat strategy because raw power would not guarantee trial points. He practiced short-range teleportation until repeated movement no longer disrupted his balance. Spatial storage became organized into weapons, medicine, food, water, clothing, and emergency supplies. Bricks occupied several sections because cheap ammunition worked perfectly with unpredictable portals. The spear mastery unlocked during the bear fight required disciplined repetition to become instinctive. Jiang Nan trained with poles, broom handles, and the same repaired streetlight shape whenever possible. Each session improved transitions between teleportation, throws, strikes, and positional control. Wu Yang practiced transforming without destroying every piece of clothing he owned. The adaptive Hulk boxers survived every size change, although their cartoon design remained humiliating. Tang Xinya trained vines to bind targets, create cover, and stabilize injured teammates. Her wood ability lacked explosive damage, but the control could decide battles in narrow terrain. The three studied spirit beast weaknesses and assigned simple signals for retreat, rescue, and focus attacks. Jiang Nan insisted every plan include an escape route because pride had no value after death. Wu Yang promised to stand last, while Tang Xinya promised to keep everyone moving. Their team chemistry grew through small arguments rather than unrealistic instant harmony. Jiang Nan used system water sparingly during training so nobody became dependent on temporary strength. He also kept detoxifying beans sealed unless poison presented a genuine threat. The school organized a preparation lecture explaining Tianqi's terrain, weather, and gate stability. Dense forests covered most of the realm, hiding black iron beasts beneath spiritual mist. Bronze creatures occasionally crossed into the testing zone, forcing students to carry emergency flares. Teachers would monitor broad areas, but rescue could never be guaranteed quickly. Each team needed food, navigation tools, medical supplies, and proof of every defeated beast. Points came from cores, materials, traces, and mission objectives announced after entry. Stealing another team's confirmed resources brought immediate disqualification if discovered. Liang's group listened confidently because all four members had prior realm experience. Jiang Nan's group had only Tang Xinya's limited field training and classroom knowledge. The gap was real, so Jiang Nan refused to dismiss it as jealousy or fear. He compensated by purchasing camping supplies and arranging everything inside spatial storage. Their entire camp could move instantly without packs slowing the team. That logistical advantage alone gave them more speed, food, and emergency capacity than rivals. Jiang Nan prepared great strength potion in carefully measured bottles for critical situations. The side effect remained hair loss, making Wu Yang deeply suspicious of every unlabeled drink. Tang Xinya demanded written labels after hearing how the school bean incident began. Jiang Nan agreed because poisoning teammates through carelessness would not count as strategy. Meanwhile, Miracle Water sales continued financing ordinary expenses and future resources. Customers returned with testimonials about stronger workouts, faster recovery, and improved hunting results. Jiang Nan never promised permanent cultivation gains, keeping the product within its actual effect. He limited purchases to prevent wealthy groups from controlling the entire supply. A few buyers offered contracts, warehouses, and public celebrity endorsements. Jiang Nan rejected them because system inventory could not support industrial demand safely. Remaining independent also protected his identity from laboratories and powerful awakening families. His stall stayed intentionally ridiculous, surrounded by socks, cheap accessories, and handwritten signs. Nobody expected world-changing resources beside bargain underwear, which made the disguise nearly perfect. Uncle Zhao's street grew safer as Wu Yang's former followers maintained order around the market. Yuqing resumed helping after school without flinching whenever unfamiliar men entered the restaurant. She thanked Jiang Nan with meals, while he quietly covered repair costs through increased business. The neighborhood now viewed him as family rather than a struggling tenant. That concrete responsibility strengthened his reason to seek power beyond personal pride. If a spirit realm disaster reached the city, people like Uncle Zhao and Yuqing could not defend themselves. Jiang Nan needed strength that functioned away from the protected stall and outside controlled examinations. Zhang Yingshu remained another reason, although he rarely admitted how strongly her danger affected him. Luo Tianxiang stayed away after the elevator disaster and took extended leave from school. Xiao Yao reported that his silence had finally allowed Yingshe to breathe freely. The victory created no public recognition, but it protected the person Jiang Nan valued most. Several evenings later, Xiao Yao called and invited him to dinner at Century Square. Yingshu appeared in the video beside her, smiling more openly than before. Jiang Nan changed into his usual cartoon shirt, loose shorts, and worn flip-flops. The beauty pill made even that chaotic outfit look deliberate rather than careless. On the walk across town, strangers repeatedly asked for photographs and contact information. Jiang Nan accepted several requests because every new social connection could eventually produce grievance points. When he reached the square, Xiao Yao stared as though the phone camera had lied. She grabbed his face, checked his skin, and demanded the name of his cosmetic doctor. Jiang Nan repeated the face-washing explanation until she threatened another headlock. Ying Shu defended him gently, saying he had always possessed good features beneath exhaustion. That simple support made Jiang Nan smile more honestly than the beauty pill ever could. The three walked toward Hot Pot, while passers-by turned to watch the unusual group. For a brief period, school rivalry, systems, poverty, and dangerous families felt distant. Xiao Yao revealed Luo had taken 2 weeks away, leaving their academy unusually peaceful. Jiang Nan and Xiao exchanged a secret high-five while Yingshu studied them with suspicion. Neither revealed the elevator recording because protecting Yingshu mattered more than enjoying credit. Jiang Nan gave Yingshu the second peerless beauty pill disguised as familiar childhood candy. She accepted it because he once shared the same sweets whenever the orphanage felt unbearable. Xiao demanded equal treatment, then locked Jiang Nan's neck when no second candy appeared. Their argument ended only when a distant explosion shook every window around Century Square. The blast was powerful enough to shake hot pot signs and scatter dishes across nearby tables. A second later, orange fire erupted from the upper floors of a crowded shopping mall. Glass burst outward, falling across the square in glittering sheets sharp enough to kill. People screamed, abandoned bags, and ran without knowing which direction remained safe. Parents dragged children behind concrete planters while shop workers flooded into the street. Phones appeared everywhere, but Jiang Nan, Yingshu, and Xiao Yao did not stop to record. Their playful expressions vanished as soon as they saw smoke swallowing multiple windows. This was not the ordinary kitchen fire frightened by water and emergency sprinklers. Spiritual pressure pulsed through the flames, making every new burst brighter than the last. Yingshu recognized the signature of a powerful fire-type awakener feeding the blaze deliberately. Xiao Yao's silver wolf ears emerged as she sharpened hearing and scent. Several dangerous auras remained inside the building instead of fleeing with civilians. The evidence pointed toward an attack, not an accident caused by faulty equipment. Jiang Nan immediately told both girls they needed to help whoever remained trapped. They agreed without discussing rank, reward, recognition, or personal safety. While crowds escaped the square, the three young awakeners ran directly toward the flames. Jiang Nan felt the difference between possessing power and accepting responsibility for it. At school, strength earned scores, praise, resources, and opportunities. Here, every delayed second could decide whether an ordinary family survived. Yingshu accelerated first, using years of elite training to navigate the panicked crowd. Xiao Yao moved beside her with animal balance and instinctive awareness. Jiang Nan followed through gaps they created, conserving teleportation for the emergency zone. Their coordination remained imperfect because he had never trained with them officially. Still, one glance from Yingshu showed she trusted him to keep moving. The distance to the mall felt longer as smoke darkened the entire square. Fire alarms screamed beneath the deeper roar of burning spiritual energy. Cars stopped across intersections, trapping arriving emergency vehicles behind confused drivers. Police officers created barriers and pushed civilians away from falling debris. Firefighters connected hoses while water-type awakeners gathered near the front entrance. Multiple streams struck the upper floors, but steam exploded without weakening the flames. The attackers' energy continually restored what ordinary water removed. News crews arrived quickly and broadcast the worsening emergency across the city. A reporter announced that dozens of people remained trapped above the burning levels. The surrounding roads were too narrow for rescue cushions or large aerial equipment. Black smoke blocked stairwells, while interior heat made normal entry nearly impossible. Jiang Nan saw military trucks, riot vehicles, and officers carrying specialized awakening equipment. The scale of the response confirmed authorities believed hostile awakeners were involved. 3 people in plain black clothing moved through the crowd with military precision. They did not wear visible uniforms, but their posture and focus revealed professional training. All 3 headed toward the same entrance Jiang Nan had selected. Xiao Yao warned that more strong auras were moving between the upper floors. Her sharpened hearing caught impacts beneath the sound of collapsing glass. Yingshu studied the fire and admitted her own flames could not simply overpower it. Fighting fire with stronger fire might consume trapped civilians before reaching the culprit. Jiang Nan examined window spacing, rooftop distances, and the location of emergency teams. His teleportation range had improved, but smoke could hide lethal obstacles at every destination. Blind movement inside an unfamiliar building could place him within concrete, steel, or open flame. He needed visual anchors, accurate locations, and a route that protected passengers. The system offered no automatic rescue mode, and no reward that replaced judgment. Every advantage still depended on Jiang Nan choosing correctly under pressure. Another explosion punched through the mall, forcing everyone near the barrier to cover their heads. A burning sign broke loose and crashed into the street beside fleeing civilians. Jiang Nan opened a spatial gate and redirected smaller fragments away from a child. The movement happened quickly enough that most people never saw what protected them. Yingshu noticed, and her expression confirmed his control had become far more precise. Xiao Yao tracked scents from the upper floors while separating civilians from hostile auras. She identified frightened groups clustered around windows where smoke remained slightly thinner. Each location represented people waiting for help they could not reach themselves. Jiang Nan began memorizing every visible face, ledge, and possible teleportation point. Among them, a mother held a young child against a 6th-floor window. Smoke curled around both figures as the woman searched desperately for somewhere to jump. The child pressed against her shoulder without understanding why the crowd below was shouting. Jiang Nan's chest tightened because no examination score could measure that kind of danger. Yingshu clenched her hands, furious that height and heat placed the family beyond her reach. Xiao Yao calculated a leap, then admitted the distance exceeded even her transformed strength. Jiang Nan told them he possessed a method, though the plan still required official coordination. He could bridge space, but carrying terrified civilians demanded clear landing zones. Emergency teams needed to know where rescued people would appear. Uncontrolled teleportation near weapons, vehicles, and rushing personnel could create another disaster. Jiang Nan pushed toward the police line and identified himself as an awakener. An officer blocked him initially because countless reckless civilians had already tried approaching. Jiang Nan explained that his space ability could reach locations ordinary ladders could not. The officer's resistance changed to urgency, but emergency procedures still required registration. Authorities needed names, abilities, and entry records before sending anyone into an active attack. Jiang Nan hated the delay, yet understood confusion could kill rescuers as easily as flames. The officer directed him toward a nearby command station where awakeners were being assigned. Ying Shui and Xiao Yao remained close, ready to register beside him. They had spent the evening joking about looks, candy, and examination rankings. Now all 3 stood beneath raining ash, while strangers' lives depended on their abilities. Jiang Nan checked his storage for water, masks, clothing, medicine, and emergency supplies. Great strength potion could help someone move debris, but its side effects complicated rescue. Detoxifying beans might help with smoke exposure, although they could create severe digestive problems. He separated reliable tools from dangerous system items instead of grabbing everything blindly. The stall's invincibility did not extend here, leaving every decision physically real. Jiang Nan felt fear clearly, but fear no longer controlled where he stood. Years of weakness had taught him exactly how helpless trapped people felt. That memory became more useful than empty confidence as he approached the command station. Another wave of heat rolled across the square and bent emergency banners backward. The mother at the window coughed violently, nearly losing her grip on the child. Crowds below screamed for her not to jump while offering no possible alternative. Jiang Nan fixed the window's location in his mind and measured the landing area behind him. His ability could create a path where architecture had created none. The remaining question was timing, because smoke was closing around the family rapidly. Before registration could begin, movement exploded from the 6th floor. Four shadowed figures launched through fire and crossed the gap toward another rooftop. They did not fall like victims. They moved like trained awakeners escaping a completed mission. Their departure confirmed the blaze concealed organized violence. Military personnel shouted into radios as rooftop units changed direction immediately. The crisis had just become both a mass rescue and an active pursuit. Jiang Nan understood that saving civilians now mattered more than chasing whoever caused the attack. A fifth figure dropped from the burning floor before rooftop teams could react. She wore a black jacket and beret, falling straight toward a parked military jeep. The impact crushed the vehicle's roof and buckled its frame beneath her boots. Instead of collapsing, the woman stepped from the wreckage and brushed soot from her sleeve. Her body showed no visible injury despite a fall that would have killed ordinary awakeners. She marched toward a military truck and tore the heavy steel door from its hinges. The woman's landing silenced several nearby civilians more effectively than any shouted command. Even experienced awakeners watched her tear reinforced steel away with casual strength. Jiang Nan understood that the people fighting this disaster operated far beyond school rankings. The four escaping figures had moved with equal confidence through flames and open air. Whatever happened inside the mall involved trained combatants, deliberate timing, and civilian hostages. The burning floors were not random damage left by an uncontrolled awakening. Someone had chosen a crowded evening and blocked the safest routes before igniting everything. Ying Shui's hands curled tightly because her own element resembled the weapon being abused. She had spent years learning control so fire could protect rather than consume. Watching another awakener turn the same power against families made her expression harden. Xiao Yao's ears tracked footsteps across rooftops until the escaping figures vanished. She could follow them, but the cries inside the mall remained closer. Jiang Nan saw the conflict inside her before she made the same choice he had. Pursuit could wait for professionals already moving through the operation. The three students stayed near the emergency line instead of chasing the attackers. Jiang Nan examined the sixth-floor window where the mother still held her child. Flames reflected across the glass, sometimes hiding both figures completely. Every time they reappeared, the crowd released another frightened breath. The woman looked down repeatedly, searching for an impossible landing place. Nothing beneath the window offered a safe jump or controlled descent. Fire vehicles occupied the narrow approach, leaving no room for large cushions. Ladders could not reach quickly enough through the heat and broken architecture. Water streams struck nearby walls, creating steam that further blocked visibility. Jiang Nan's space ability remained the only obvious path that ignored physical distance. Yet teleportation required him to know exactly where both ends existed. Smoke turned rooms into moving shadows where one wrong step could become fatal. He could not simply blink into darkness and hope courage corrected the mistake. The lesson mattered because true power included knowing what could still kill him. At school, teachers controlled the machines, rules, and emergency response. Here, there was no invincible zone waiting beneath his feet. The burning mall would punish every careless assumption immediately. Jiang Nan accepted that truth without stepping backward. Fear became information rather than a command to run. He studied the visible window frame, wall thickness, and distance from the pavement. He counted how long smoke cleared whenever water struck the neighboring section. He watched the mother's position change as heat drove her closer to the edge. The child no longer moved much, making every second more serious. Yingshu noticed the same detail and quietly called Jiang Nan's name. There was no joke, teasing, or childhood softness in her voice now. She needed to know whether his earlier claim about having a way was real. Jiang Nan answered that space could create distance where rescue equipment could not. He did not promise success before understanding the exact conditions. Xiao Yao appreciated the honesty because confidence without planning would only add victims. Her hearing separated coughing from collapsing beams and breaking windows. She reported several clusters of survivors beyond the mother and child. The sixth floor contained more people than the cameras had revealed. Some were moving toward the window, while others remained trapped deeper inside. The attack had created multiple emergencies that one teleportation user could not solve alone. Jiang Nan needed coordination with firefighters, medics, and experienced combat awakeners. That was why the officer had directed him toward registration rather than the entrance. Jiang Nan turned toward the command station while keeping the sixth-floor window in sight. Yingshu and Xiao Yao moved with him, prepared to report their own abilities. Neither suggested separating because the danger demanded teamwork, not individual hero moments. The trio had never completed a formal mission together. Still, their instincts had aligned before any teacher assigned a role. Yingshui understood flame behavior and could read changes in the hostile energy. Xiaoyao could locate people and threats through smoke using enhanced senses. Jiang Nan could move objects and bodies across impossible gaps. Combined correctly, those abilities might create a rescue route no single person possessed. The thought confirmed why teams mattered beyond examination rules. Wu Yang's defense and Tang Xingya's control would have helped in different conditions. Jiang Nan understood that every talent became valuable when matched to the right problem. The school had called his own talent trash because growth remained painfully slow. Nobody had asked whether space itself could ever become useless. Low talent limited cultivation, but it never changed the nature of the element. The system had removed the bottleneck that prevented his rare ability from developing. Cleansing fruits improved absorption, strength potion rebuilt his body, and grievance funded opportunity. Yet none of those rewards automatically taught judgment under real danger. Jiang Nan remembered nights when hunger reduced life to the price of one meal. He remembered selling cheap goods because nobody would rescue him from failure. Uncle Zhao's family had offered kindness without asking whether his talent deserved it. Yuqing brought noodles when he could barely afford food. Yingshui once shared everything inside the orphanage before fate separated them. Wu Yang accepted discipline after losing and turned strength toward protecting the neighborhood. Tang Xingya joined a team everyone else considered embarrassing. Those relationships gave every new level a purpose larger than showing off. The mall windows held strangers, but helplessness made them immediately recognizable. Jiang Nan had lived too long on the wrong side of power to ignore them. The crowd screamed, then fell silent when the mother appeared again. She pressed the child beneath her body and moved closer to the opening. Below, firefighters shouted instructions she could not possibly hear through the roar. The reporter stopped narrating for several seconds and simply stared upward. Even cameras trained for tragedy could not make the distance feel less cruel. Jiang Nan's fingers tightened as he memorized the exact edge of the window. He imagined a spatial opening anchored only to visible structure, not hidden floor space. The mother would need to move deliberately rather than panic at the unfamiliar portal. Medics would need a clear receiving area so nobody landed beneath equipment. Firefighters could direct water away during the moment of transfer. Xiaoyao could identify when both civilians stood close enough together. Yingxiu could monitor sudden flame changes that might interrupt the opening. The plan existed only as possibility, but it was grounded in their actual abilities. Jiang Nan refused to confuse a possibility with a completed rescue. He needed command approval, timing, and a stable line of sight. That restraint separated him from the boy who once solved every insult with a stool. Physical confidence had grown faster than experience, and he knew the difference. The beret-wearing woman continued issuing rapid instructions near the military vehicles. Her presence showed that powerful adults had already entered the crisis. Jiang Nan did not need to become the strongest person on the scene. He only needed to offer the one ability nobody else nearby could replace. The title of genius had once disappeared because one measurement ranked his talent lowest. The title of trash survived because people preferred simple conclusions. Neither label mattered while someone needed the function of space itself. The system notifications continued faintly beneath alarms and radio traffic. Fear, anger, and confusion from thousands of people produced enormous grievance potential. Jiang Nan ignored the growing balance because spending points required attention he could not spare. The choice marked a change the system could never force. At first, he provoked reactions because points meant food, rent, and survival. Later, he used grievance to improve cultivation, protect friends, and punish arrogant enemies. Now emotional currency became background noise beside a crisis demanding direct action. The system had made him stronger, but responsibility determined what that strength meant. Jiang Nan reached the registration area and prepared to state his abilities clearly. He would reveal enough for rescuers to use him without exposing the system's existence. Short-range teleportation, spatial storage, and enhanced physical strength were all verifiable facts. The officer would not need to understand cleansing fruit or magical merchandise. Yingxue stood on his left, firelight reflecting across her controlled expression. Xiaoyao stood on his right, wolf ears still tracking the trapped survivors. Years earlier, Jiang Nan believed separation had ended the family they created in childhood. The emergency showed that trust could return without asking permission from time. They had arrived for dinner as friends rediscovering a comfortable connection. Jiang Nan looked once toward the rooftop where the four shadows escaped. Their speed and confidence promised enemies beyond the school rivalries he understood. He refused to chase that threat before civilians received help. Revenge against Luo had been personal, controlled, and designed around humiliation. This situation required discipline because innocent lives surrounded every hostile target. Jiang Nan felt the gap between street tricks and real operations clearly. Instead of discouraging him, the gap showed what he still needed to learn. The coming Spirit Realm examination no longer represented only exchange positions or first place. It would provide the experience required for emergencies no classroom could simulate. Every beast, team decision, and survival lesson would prepare him for moments like this. His goal remained joining Yingshu's academy, but the reason had expanded. He wanted enough control that rare talent never became wasted potential again. He wanted enough strength that protecting people did not depend on luck. He wanted enough judgment to know when power should strike and when it should serve. The burning mall forced those ambitions into one immediate decision. Jiang Nan could still remain behind the barrier and let professionals handle everything. Nobody would blame an inexperienced high school student for choosing safety. He had not entered a spirit realm, completed a rescue course, or faced organized attackers. Walking away remained available, which made staying meaningful. Jiang Nan looked at the mother, the child, and the shrinking clear space around them. He remembered classmates laughing because his talent could only store cargo. Storage had kept his business alive when poverty made every kilogram matter. Teleportation had saved him from stronger attackers and turned bricks into unpredictable weapons. The same ability could now connect a trapped family with the ground below. A power did not become valuable when society approved its ranking. It became valuable when someone used it at the moment nothing else worked. Jiang Nan straightened his posture and moved fully into the command line. His old bicycle, folding stool, and cheap stall remained part of who he was. Poverty had trained resourcefulness that elite students often never needed. Humiliation had taught him to read people before they revealed their intentions. The system had converted those survival instincts into a path of rapid growth. Wang Lin believed strength alone decided who could stand over whom. Li Mian believed low talent permanently fixed Jiang Nan's future. Liang believed resources and background would always outrun effort. Luo Tianxiang believed money allowed him to control homes, teams, and people. Each assumption had already failed when Jiang Nan refused the role assigned to him. The mall presented no arrogant rival waiting for a satisfying public reversal. That made this moment a more honest measurement than the destroyed titanium machine. A machine could measure force, but not the reason behind using it. Talent grades could estimate growth, but not the creativity applied under pressure. Rank could compare energy, but not the courage to move toward screaming civilians. Jiang Nan possessed fear, inexperience, and limitations alongside every new advantage. He did not need to deny those weaknesses before offering help. The mother at the window needed a root, not a perfect hero. The child needed time, not another audience analyzing risk. Jiang Nan prepared to give them exactly what his ability could provide. Yingshui's calm presence reminded him that protection had once defined their childhood bond. Xiao Yao's focused posture proved humor and seriousness could exist in the same person. Together, they waited for instructions without losing sight of the people above. The beret-wearing commander turned toward the registration area after ripping open the truck. Jiang Nan met the movement without lowering his eyes or pretending to outrank anyone. He was not the abandoned child begging talent to become valuable anymore. He was not the vendor accepting humiliation because rent depended on every customer. He was not the failed student waiting for a machine to confirm expulsion. The system had opened a path, but Jiang Nan had chosen how to walk it. He used power to defend his stall, then his neighborhood, then the people he loved. Now he stood ready to use it for strangers who might never learn his name. The crowd still called the fire impossible while professionals searched for narrow solutions. Jiang Nan's entire life had been built inside narrow solutions nobody else respected. A folding stool became a weapon, cheap goods became survival, and grievance became cultivation. A trash-rank talent became spatial control once the system removed its artificial ceiling. The title of weak orphan no longer described the person beneath the cartoon shirt. Neither did the sudden reputation of hidden genius capture everything he had endured. Jiang Nan remained sarcastic, reckless, resourceful, and deeply unwilling to abandon helpless people. That combination mattered more than any clean heroic image. The flames continued rising, but Jiang Nan's decision had already settled. He would register, coordinate, and place his rare ability wherever the rescue needed it most. No applause, exam score, or system reward was required to make that choice real. The people above were reason enough. In the street market, Jiang Nan had discovered a system that changed his strength. At the burning mall, he discovered the responsibility that gave that strength direction. The classmates who mocked his trash talent had measured only how slowly he once grew. They never measured how far he would move when someone else could not escape. Jiang Nan stepped forward because power meant nothing while fear decided every action. The mocked street vendor had finally become the protector his younger self had always needed.